Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Here, we embrace true femininity. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update.
The glaring lights. The deafening crowd. The suffocating makeup. I had never felt more trapped in my entire life. My heart pounded against my ribcage as I stood on the stage, wishing for nothing more than to be somewhere else. But here I was, caught in the middle of a reality TV show called Crossdresser's Challenge. The premise? 12 men, each with their own unique reasons for crossdressing, are pitted against each other in a series of challenges designed to test their limits both physically and emotionally. The grand prize? A whopping $100,000 and the title of Ultimate Crossdresser. It had all started as a harmless joke. My best friend had dared me to audition for the show, promising that she would never let me actually go on if I got picked. Little did she know, I'd never been so serious about anything in my life. I aced the audition, and before I knew it, I was one of the 12 contestants chosen to compete. I tried to convince her to ditch the idea, but she was adamant that I should just go with it and prove her wrong. So there I was, standing in front of the cameras, wishing I could be anyone but myself. The host of the show, a former model named Amber, strutted onto the stage in a figure-hugging gown that left little to the imagination. Her hair was perfectly coiffed, and she was wearing more makeup than I had ever seen in my life. She introduced herself to the crowd before turning her attention to me. "And this," she purred, "is our first contestant. His name is, well, you'll just have to wait and see." I wanted nothing more than to melt into the floor. As if that wasn't bad enough, the other contestants were even worse. They oozed confidence and charisma, their every move seemingly practiced in front of a mirror for hours on end. They laughed and joked with each other, their banter flowing effortlessly as they sized each other up. I, on the other hand, could barely string together a coherent sentence. I was so nervous that I was shaking uncontrollably, my carefully applied makeup starting to streak. The first challenge of the day was a fashion show. Each contestant would have to walk the runway in a dress chosen specifically for them. As I was led backstage to get changed, my heart sank even further. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to be here. But it was too late now. The dress they had chosen for me was a bright red, fit and flare number that hugged my curves in all the wrong places. I felt like a clown. I tried to muster up some confidence, but it was impossible. When it was my turn to walk the runway, my legs felt like jelly. The crowd's catcalls and whistles only served to make me more self-conscious. I took a deep breath and forced myself to take each step slowly and deliberately. I tried to focus on the prize money, on the idea that I was doing this for myself, but it was no use. All I could think about was how much I wanted to disappear. As I stepped off the runway, Amber and the judges were waiting for me. They told me I did okay, but that there was room for improvement. I nodded, trying to keep my emotions in check. The rest of the day passed in a blur of challenges, a photo shoot, a makeup challenge, and a Q&A session with the judges. Through it all, I felt like an imposter. These people were born to be on stage, and I was just a guy who liked to wear dresses occasionally. But I kept going, because I knew that if I quit, my best friend would never let me forget it. The final challenge was a talent competition. The other contestants showcased their singing, dancing, and acting skills, while I struggled to find something that I could do well. In the end, I decided to share a story about why I crossdressed in the first place. I spoke about my struggles with gender identity, my struggles with my family, and how crossdressing had become a way for me to express myself. When I was finished, there was a moment of silence, and then the crowd erupted into applause. The judges told me that my story had touched them, and that they admired my courage. As the results were announced, my heart raced. I had done better than I thought I would, but I still wasn't sure if it would be enough. When they called my name as the winner, I couldn't believe it. I had won $100,000 and the title of Ultimate Crossdresser. As I accepted my prize, a strange feeling came over me. I realized that even though I had hated every minute of the competition, I had grown as a person. I had faced my fears and pushed myself out of my comfort zone. And maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the end of my journey. Maybe it was just the beginning.